I'm 11 years old and I've decided to start the first real big goal of my life. I'm going to read 20,000 pages from my 11th birthday until my 12th birthday. I do the calculations and I have to read 50 pages every weekday and 100 pages every weekend day. So my 12th birthday comes around and I add up all the pages that I've read from every book that I read. I read like 50 books and I get 25,000 pages. I've read 5,000 pages over my goal. I must have done the calculations a little wrong, or I just read more because I was so genuinely interested in the books that I just wanted to read more and more and more. And I had such an amazing year, and I advanced that year so much because I was always learning and I was always taking in new knowledge, and I always had this idea of something new can help me, and some book that I read could change my mind and change what I put in here and make my life better. So I was always trying to gain knowledge and find new books and find new topics that I could learn on to make my life amazing, and that was one of the best feelings ever. So in this video, I wanted to talk about becoming a lifelong learner like I was when I was 11. So without any further ado, let's get into that. The day that we stop learning is the day that we die. Imagine that your mind is like a fridge, and you put a bunch of fresh, amazing produce into that. And you can use that produce as you want. And the produce is always unlimited. Whatever is in your fridge is always unlimited, but it will expire. And eventually, all of the things in your mind will expire. They will go sour or they won't work anymore. And that is just like our ideas and our concepts. So if we are not continuously learning and gathering new information that we can use in our life, then we are going to fall behind and that we are going to go wrong. Now, what actually is a lifelong learner? Because we throw this term around and you might say that you're always learning in life every day, and you are, but you're not digesting like true powerful knowledge that could change the way you think and change the way you act, and therefore change your life. Being a lifelong student and a lifelong learner means that you pursue your own education, knowledge, and academic success outside of the school system, and you're doing it on topics that you would actually like to learn about and to know about. Learning and educating yourself is meant to make your mind a place that you want to spend time in and a place that you feel comfortable in. Imagine if you knew the answers to anything that you wanted. You would always feel comfortable and at peace because you knew what was going to happen or what outcome there was going to be. This can happen through learning and through gaining knowledge through lifelong learning and learning out of the school system. Becoming a lifelong learner is one of the most amazing things that you can do. And once you become a lifelong learner and you start pursuing passion, you can truly gain the wisdom and the knowledge of the world and advance so quickly in the world because you're gaining knowledge and insights from people that already have all this knowledge, already have all these things, and they've written it down in a book for $20 that you can go and purchase and extract what you need from the greatest minds in history and get that knowledge and use it in your own life. The day that you stop learning is the day that you die. Imagine if you're not getting new information and taking in new information to change the way you think or to change the way you act or to somehow make your life better. You're just going to be doing the same old things every single day. You're not going to have any success because you're not trying anything new. The definition of an insane person is someone who does the same thing every single time and expects different results. So how can you experiment and do things better if you're not gaining knowledge? If there's nothing going into here, then there's going to be nothing new coming out of here. Being curious and gaining knowledge is one of man's greatest strengths. Imagine a caveman thousands of years ago. If he wasn't learning something new every single day, how do I run faster? How do I get stronger? How do I kill this animal quicker and easier? Then he is most likely going to fall behind in the savage world. And that's how we have evolved, and that's how we have climbed to such great heights as humans. We're always curious and we're always looking for something new that could change the way we think or make a task more effective or make something easier to do. We're always looking to improve and to educate our minds. That's the reason I say the same thing at every one of my videos. You can't change your life until you change what's in here. Because if you're not giving your brain new things to process and to think about, then nothing new is going to come out. And imagine if you're giving your brain the ideas of some of the greatest thinkers in the world. You can go and buy a book for $20, $15, sometimes even $10 of the greatest minds of our time, and you can read that, and maybe it would take like 24 hours to read that. And suddenly you have taken their brain and you have taken their ideas and put it into your own brain of the greatest thinkers of our time. And they have gotten to that place because they have done the exact same thing that you must do. They have gotten to that place because they have taken ideas and they've read tons of books and they've taken tons of interesting education from so many different people, and they're always curious, and they've taken all of that and they've molded it and they've turned it into the success that you see today, because they never thought that they knew everything. They always had this mindset, the mindset of a lifelong learner, that they always have something new to learn. They always have something new that they could learn from everybody, from any situation, from any person. You could learn something from a person that is 10 times broker than you. The people that we become 1, 3, 5 years from now is directly correlated to what we are learning and what we are putting into our brain right now at this current moment. So if you want to be successful in a year, 3, 5 years from now, you should be putting in successful ideas in your brain and reading books from the most successful people in the world on how they found their success and what ideas they used to find their success, and you should be putting that into your brain and using it in your own life. And those concepts and those ideas will make finding that success so much easier. You ever feel like hard situations and lessons in your life keep returning and keep coming back to you again and again and again? If this is happening to you, it's because you haven't learned the piece of information that this lesson is trying to provide to you. If you keep making the same mistakes and you keep failing and you keep doing the same exact thing, you need to go out and you need to learn. You need to put new ideas into your brain that can help you overcome this problem. And once you have overcome this problem, then you will have that piece of information in your mind and that lesson in your mind. And once you have this lesson or this piece of information that you have learned from going through this problem over and over again, and you will level up in your knowledge skill. Every skill that you have is fun to think about like a video game. Imagine that you start out at 0 in every skill that you have in life. And every time that you learn something new or put a new idea into your brain and then try it in the real world and you get success in that, then you level up in this little bar of this skill. There are finite games in this world, which are games that you can beat and games that you can conquer. And then there are infinite games in this world. Games that you play just for the fun of it, and games that you play to play the game and to enjoy the game. Lifelong learning and educating yourself is one of these infinite games. You can't win the knowledge game. You can never take in all the information of the world ever. That's impossible. So the best thing that you can do is to keep playing this game over and over again and never quit it. And always know that there's some new piece of the game that you have to learn and some new piece of the puzzle that might interest you. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. We have been given this gift of knowledge and this gift of education and this gift of curiosity as humans, and that's what has taken us so far. And if you are not choosing to learn and choosing to keep gaining knowledge that could help change your life, then you will be left behind just like a caveman would be 1,000 years ago. The reason that we have come so far as humans is because we have always wanted to learn and we have always been curious. But if you are not learning and if you are not trying to get better every single day by accessing this knowledge that you have access to and gaining these ideas that you have access to all over the internet, we can learn at such a fast pace nowadays, and there are honestly too many things to learn nowadays that you have to focus in and choose that one thing that you want to learn on and get really good at. And that leads me on to my next point, which is you must actually be taking in true knowledge. 60 seconds short or a less than 5-minute video isn't true knowledge. You have to be able to sit down and to digest and to think about, how can I use this in my life? How can I use this to make me better? And if you're not doing that with every piece of knowledge that you learn, then you're just going to gain knowledge, but it's just going to go in one ear and out the other. That's why so many people find comfort in just learning and learning and learning. But you are not a true lifelong learner if you are not taking that knowledge and then using it. The only way to be a lifelong student and a lifelong learner is to take that knowledge into your brain and then use it in some place of your life. And if you're just gaining knowledge, then you're only going to be able to implement a small amount of this amazing knowledge that you have. But if you take in a small amount of knowledge and then you implement it a lot, then you'll see so much results in your life and so much progress in your life. Now, once you have gained this knowledge, you need to remember it or implement it somehow. That is one of the main skills and key skills that lifelong learners have. They're able to take this knowledge that is instrumental and amazing and put it into their life, and that's how they have gotten to the success that they've gotten. Everybody can learn, but it's the true lifelong students and lifelong learners that can take that knowledge and then use it in their own life to become greater. You remember 10% of what you read. You remember 20% of what you watch and listen to. You remember 30% of what is demonstrated to you and what is a demonstration. You remember 50% of a discussion. You remember 75% if you practice doing that technique. And you remember 90% of what you teach others. Taking this knowledge and gaining it is one aspect, but remembering it and using it in your own life is where you can actually succeed and actually become great. That's why starting a YouTube channel or any social media can be so beneficial. Just trying to teach it, not even putting any effort into the videos, but just hitting record and then posting that, but trying to put it in a way that people might understand and people might take knowledge from that. And teaching it, you'll remember 90% of that topic, and you'll be able to take on that topic whenever you want because you have 90% of that topic memorized. So this is my action step for you today. Go and learn something truly educational and life-changing, and take that first step to become a lifelong learner and a lifelong student. And once you have taken in that knowledge and that education, go and use it in the real world. Go take action on it, even if it's just a small piece, and then you have an idea in your brain. Go immediately take action on that and take your first step to become a lifelong learner. And this is very fitting for the video, but remember, you can't change your life until you change what's in here. You got this.